Boy, we are excited to have Jay Deas on because stop me if you've heard this one before. Another top heavyweight fight is going to be canceled because of banned substances. ESPN reporting that heavyweight contender Luis King Kong Ortiz has flunked a VADA drug test, which it looks like is going to torpedo his WBC title fight with Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder of Tuscaloosa, scheduled for November 4th on Showtime at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Jay Deas, Deontay's longtime co-manager and trainer from Sky Gym in Tuscaloosa, gracious enough to jump on with us. You got to be sick, Jay. I mean, this clown, everybody says people are scared to fight him. No wonder they're scared to fight him. He's not, is he ever clean?
It's unbelievable. It's good to be on the show, so thank you for having me. But it's actually been 3 of Deontay's last 5 opponents have tested positive. Deontay's never tested positive in 38 professional fights and his entire Olympic career. It's not that tough to stay clean.
Yeah,
unbelievable. Vortic and now Ortiz. And the thing that rubs me and everybody the wrong way is this is the one the fans wanted. They wanted the Povetkin fight. We tried to do it. He tested positive. They wanted the Ortiz fight. We made every effort. We pushed the fight. We got the fight. We backed him into a corner and said, take the fight. He did. And then he doesn't show up at the press conference in New York, which that should have, in retrospect, seems to have been a real red flag. And now, of course, the test results.
Yeah, and meantime, I know Deontay's already started training. He's biting at the bit. I mean, what do you do, Jay? I mean, you're right. This just keeps happening over and over. Yet some of these, I don't want to say what I want to say, but some of these media people want to continue to say, well, Deontay won't fight anybody. How can he fight anybody? They're all on drugs, right?
Yeah, it's Deontay is clearly the most feared guy in the heavyweight division, and these guys, I guess they feel that they need to do something to give themselves some sort of an advantage to get in the ring with him. I don't know, but it's very, very frustrating. Our understanding is that November the 4th is still on. It's still at the Barclays Center. It's still on Showtime. We're just not sure who it will be. And so, from a logistical standpoint, I've got all these left-handers in town because Ortiz is a left-hander. And my guess is that we're going to have to send them home and bring in a bunch of right-handers here in the next couple of days.
Well, let me get this straight, though. You're planning on fighting somebody November 4th on Showtime at the Barclays Center.
Yes, definitely planning on fighting November the 4th. We've been out of the ring since February 25th. Deontay's hands are great. He's looking great. He's ready to go. This is obviously a huge setback, a very frustrating setback, a maddening setback, but we can't allow that to affect our focus. Ultimately, the goal is to unify the heavyweight division, one champion, one face, one name, Deontay Wilder, and that hasn't changed.
Right.
So we just have to readjust and move forward.
Yeah, and that's what's so frustrating. This was the fight because, as we've talked about, the word in the boxing world is that nobody wants to fight this guy. He's too big. He's too good a counterpuncher. He's a southpaw. It's too risky. Yet Deontay was going to take it on. He was going to knock the guy out, and then Joshua or Parker, anybody else, nobody else could run anymore. It was going to set it up. Now that's been put on hold. On this short of notice, can you find a quality opponent, an opponent that's good enough to really get people excited about this fight November 4th? How do you do that? How do you go out now and find a quality guy to fight Deontay?
Well, we've been in camp for 1.5 weeks. So, it's not that different for anybody who would accept the fight. It's not like this is the week of the fight. So, heavyweights, boxers should be in the gym anyway. I tell all my guys, it's not that we get a fight so you go get in shape. It's you're in shape and then I look for you a fight. That's the way it's supposed to work. And so we hope that these guys out there are already in the gym. My guess, Gary, is that they will probably start with guys that were already supposed to be on the card. And there's 3 heavyweights that were already supposed to be on the card. that being Bermain Stavern, Dominique Brazil, and Adam Kalnacki, all of them ranked in the top 10. Stavern number 1, Brazil number 7. I think Kalnacki's number 10. And then they'll go from there. That way, they should already have been in training for a fight anyway.
Right. I got to ask you this because, as you said, you've got a clean heavyweight. There's no concern with Deontay in this regard, and I know there are masking agents and all the things that go into this. But I can't understand why these guys keep doing this. I mean, do they not think they're going to get caught? Do they? I mean, what's the deal? Don't they know, based on recent history, that if you're taking PEDs or some type of substance that you're going to get found out?
I think that's exactly it. They don't think they're going to get caught, and I think there's always people that can tell them and get in their ear. Oh, I've worked with all these track athletes, or I've worked with all these gymnasts, or none of my people get caught. Don't worry about it. I'm 10 steps ahead of, and they talk them into it, and they feel like they're not going to get caught. And of course, this is a very extensive testing process. It's blood, it's urine, it's no joke, and it will find you out. I can understand if somebody inadvertently maybe takes something from GNC or something that they think is all natural, or maybe it has something in it that's not, and they test positive. But when this has happened repeatedly, I think that there has to be, the punitive side of it has to be much stiffer. I think that, let's say, in my opinion, the second time you test positive under VADA rules, you're essentially a marked man. You're basically, your career is over. That's the way I think it should be. I understand a first test, give them 6 months or a year or whatever, but after that, a second test, you should be basically gone. And I think only then will these guys say, you know what, I'm not touching anything. I don't want to lose my career. I'm
with you. Yeah, you got to start culling them out. If they can't do what they need to do to stay in the sport, they shouldn't get a third, fourth, fifth opportunity. I'm with you, Jay. Listen, I know you got to go. I know you're a stand-up guy, and Deontay is too, and he showed remarkable patience, in my opinion, through this whole process. But down deep, I mean, I don't know the history of the sport as well as you do, but I know it fairly well. He has to be the most victimized heavyweight in history in regards to this happening to him. Fights being canceled because of fighters failing drug tests. Am I right in that assumption? You're right. I've never seen anything like it. Not just heavyweight. Any weight. Any division. I've never seen somebody go through 60% of their fights. Guys test positive. That's unheard of. It's crazy. But I think there's something that scares them. They want the fight, they want the money, they want the opportunity, and then they start thinking about it. And they start getting worried. They start getting a little scared. And then they look for an advantage. Yeah, they start thinking about that big right hand. It reminds me of the old song, Big John. Remember, he put a Louisiana fella in the promised land with that big right hand. That's what they start thinking about it. They need a little extra. Well, Jay, thank you so much for jumping on short notice. I mean, I'm just sick about this. I know all the Deontay Wilder fans are sick, but at the same time, there's going to be a fight on Showtime November 4th in Brooklyn, New York. Deontay's going to be fighting somebody, so we got that to look forward to. Somebody at the top of the rankings. I'm actually jogging right now. I'm jogging off some stress, so I appreciate you bearing with me as I breathe through this. Well, thank you so much, Jay. You got it. Take care, guys.